What's going on, guys? This is Kip here. Today is Sunday, March 4th, and I just want to make a new video about the Bitcoin private fork. The fork has happened. The snapshot happened February 28th at noontime for me, and then they took the snapshot on the next two blocks found on each blockchain, so the Bitcoin blockchain and the Zcash blockchain. So now the fork has happened. It's been a couple days. I tried to make this video yesterday, but we had a crazy wind and rainstorm that actually took out a bunch of trees and power lines, and I had no power all day. So the wallets for Bitcoin private are now available to download, and we can claim our Bitcoin private. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how to do that now, and it's super easy. You just want to go to the Bitcoin private website. And there's been a lot of scams going around where people make fake websites and try to get you to download the wallet there, punch in your private keys, and then they steal your Bitcoin private. So just make sure you're at the real Bitcoin private website, which is btcprivate.org. I'll put a link in the description box below. And then we can either click on wallets or we can just scroll down right here to wallets. And I suggest that you guys download the Electrum wallet. It's super quick and fast to download. It syncs super fast. We don't have to wait. If we download the full node desktop wallet, we have to wait for the entire blockchain to sync, which can take a while. So the Electrum wallet is super quick and easy. So what you want to do is just see on GitHub. I'm going to click on that. And then you can see the Bitcoin private Electrum 1.0.0 right now. If you're watching this video days later, it could be a different version. You're just going to want to download the newest version. And then find your operating system. I'm on Mac, so I downloaded the Mac. And then we're just going to click this, go ahead and download. I already did it earlier, so I'm not going to click it now. But you guys just want to click on whichever operating system you guys have and then download it. And then the next step that we're going to do while the wallet's downloading is we're actually going to export our private keys. I'll show you guys how to do it on the Exodus wallet that we set up, and I'll show you guys how to do it on the Zcash Electrum wallet. So if you guys had Bitcoin in Exodus, you set up a temporary Exodus. First of all, this is not my Exodus that I used for the fork. I had another temporary one set up, but I already exported my private keys, and they're on my other user, so I'd have to switch over. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do it on this wallet. But definitely make sure that you send out all of your funds before you export your private keys and before you claim your Bitcoin Cash. You definitely want to send all the funds out of the wallet that you're using to import your private keys to claim your Bitcoin Cash. You don't want to have any funds in there, and that way when you give your private keys to somebody, that's giving them control of whatever funds are in that wallet. So that's why I always say set up a temporary wallet and always send out all of your money before you export your private keys and then import them into any wallet to get any forked coin. So once you've sent out all your funds back to where you were originally holding them, you just want to go up here to Exodus. And if you guys are on a PC, you won't see this menu up here. You just want to hit Control-Shift-D. And that will pull up a little developers tab up here, a little menu, and it will look exactly like this. Just click on Exodus. Go down to Developer, go to Assets, go to Bitcoin, and then hit Export Private Keys. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to export your private keys? You say yes, and then it's going to set, a box will come up and tell you where it exported them to and save them on your computer. I usually send it to my desktop just because it's easy to access, quick and easy. But just export private keys, and then we'll find it wherever you saved it on your computer. And basically the same thing if you're on the Zcash wallet. It would be the same thing. You just want to go to File. Oh, no, sorry. You want to go to Wallet, and then scroll down to Private Keys, and then Export. Same thing. It'll probably ask you, are you sure you want to export your private keys? You say yes, and then it'll tell you where it saved them onto your computer. But like I said, make sure that you send out all of your funds. You guys can see that I sent out all of my funds before I exported my private keys. So just make sure that the wallets are empty before you do this. And then the next step would actually be to open the Bitcoin private wallet that we just downloaded. And the Bitcoin private wallet looks just like the Zcash Electrum wallet. You can see right here, I've downloaded it. I am connected and synced up. It took about 1 minute to connect and sync. So everything's good to go, and now we just need to import our private keys. And when you guys download this wallet, you'll see I took some screenshots. The first box that will pop up will be this one, choose seed type. The type of addresses used by your wallet will depend on your seed. Just keep it on standard, you hit next, and then you'll get this window. Do you want to create a new seed or to restore a wallet using an existing seed? Just hit create new seed, hit next, then this box will pop up. Create default wallet. What kind of wallet do you want to create? You're just going to hit standard wallet, next, and then this is the most important box that you guys will see. Obviously I blacked mine out because this isn't information that I want the public to see, but it'll say your wallet generation seed is, and then it will have some words in here. This is your seed phrase. So when you get to this box, go ahead and take a screenshot and save that for your records. And then when you get to the next, when you hit next, they'll ask you to punch the seed phrase in, so you have to enter in each word. So that's when you pull up your screenshot, and then you can just enter in each word, how they have it written down. Hit next, and then it will ask you to create a password for your wallet. And you guys will create a password, and then this will be your wallet. You get to this, the wallet will open and it will sync and connect to the network, and then we're good to go. And just make sure you keep the screenshot of your seed phrase for your records. I suggest not keeping it on your computer, but actually putting it on a USB stick and saving it somewhere safe. But just don't ever lose your seed phrase, because with your seed phrase, even if you delete the wallet, anything like that, you can always download it and reload your wallet and restore it with this seed phrase. So always keep that safe. Then the next thing that we're going to do, because we exported our private keys from Exodus and Zcash, we're actually going to import them now into the Bitcoin private Electrum wallet, and then we should receive our Bitcoin private. And like I said, I saved mine on my desktop, and obviously I'm going to blur this out because I don't want anybody to have my private keys. But I will show you guys exactly how to do it. Alright, and then when you open them up, you might have to right click, just right click it and hit open with, and I use text edit just because it's easy to copy and paste any of these. But when you open it up, you can see I have one set up for my Electrum private keys, and then I have one opened behind it for my Exodus private keys. So what we're going to do is, because these are temporary wallets that we set up, and I only used one address to send my funds to these temporary wallets, the private key that you guys are going to want to import is usually the top key over here on the right. So you'll see your address on the left, and then in the Zcash Electrum wallet you'll see a comma, and then the string of letters and numbers right after the comma is your private key. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Electrum Bitcoin private wallet, and we're going to go up to wallet, and we're going to hit private keys, and then we're going to hit sweep. And you see this is where we enter in our private keys. So I'm going to copy the top private key from my Zcash wallet, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste it into my Bitcoin private wallet. So we're just going to paste that in, and then I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to grab the private keys from my Exodus wallet, and in your Exodus wallet you'll see your address. If you have a bunch of addresses and a bunch of private keys, I'll give you guys a tip in 1 second. But you're going to see your address, and then you're going to see a M/O/O, comma, O, comma, and then a long string of letters and numbers. That string of letters and numbers after the last comma is your private key. So we're going to go ahead and copy that, and then we will paste it into the Bitcoin private Electrum wallet, and then we're going to hit sweep. And then you can see, easy as that. It took like under a minute. Alright guys, so I actually had to hit pause for a second because this is my first time doing it, obviously, and I thought just sweeping would automatically credit your Bitcoin private, but when I go to my history, when I sweep it, it's under send, and you can see all my transactions, and then a total of 221 Bitcoin private. But then I have to send it. And the address that I'm sending to, I had to pause the video and go back and make sure. When I entered in my private keys and hit sweep, it actually said address. So I'm assuming that this is my receiving address, and we're sweeping the network to look for any Bitcoin private associated with these private keys. And then once it finds it, we're actually going to send this to our wallet, so then it will be in our wallet. So it's not just sweep and you got your Bitcoin private. I think we actually have to hit send once it finds it, and it will send it. You guys will see this is your receiving address, I believe, right before you hit sweep. So let's go ahead and hit send. We'll put in our password. We'll hit OK. And let's see what happens. Payment sent. Inbound transaction. Now under our history, there we go. We can see 221 Bitcoin private received. So when you put in your private keys, you do need to hit sweep, and then they will display, before you hit sweep, your receiving address will be displayed, and then when you sweep, it will find your Bitcoin private, but you'll be under the send tab, and it will show you all of your transactions, and then your receiving address that they showed you before you sweeped will automatically be filled in. So you just hit send, and then you receive them in your wallet, and now you're good to go. I believe I'm just waiting for confirmations right now. But another little tip I can give you guys real quick is when you're entering your private keys, when you export your private keys and you go to import them, you'll get this big long list with all your addresses. And some people, when we did the Litecoin Cash fork, some people were saying when they entered the top private key that it didn't find their Litecoin Cash in their wallet. So what you can do is you can actually import every single one of these private keys, because each private key is associated to a different address. So you might have received the coins that you're trying to claim to a different address, not the top address listed. So what you have to do is you actually have to check and import all of these private keys, and then you'll be credited. Like I said, you just want to import all of your private keys if it doesn't come up after the first one. If you try to import the first private key and you don't receive any coins or it doesn't show any coins, then just go down the list. You can import more than one at a time. Just paste one in, hit enter, paste another one in, hit enter. But just try every single private key. And then some other people, I don't know if there's going to be a problem for the Bitcoin private wallet, but some people, when we did the LLC wallet, the Litecoin Cash, some people, that when you import your private keys, it has to scan the blockchain, and in mid-scan, the wallet froze, and then when they closed it down, opened it back up, they went to import their private keys again, and it said that these keys were already imported, but they weren't showing up in their wallet. They just had to rescan the wallet. And how you do that, if you ever need to rescan a wallet, is you just put in another private key. So we use the first one. You would just come on here, find any other private key on the list next to one of these addresses, import that private key, and then hit scan, and it will rescan the wallet for you. But it was simple. It was easy. You guys saw how easy that was, and we just received our free Bitcoin private. Right now, it's only being traded on one exchange, which is a really, really small exchange. I believe it's Zpool. So I'm going to wait. On their Twitter, they put out a couple tweets that they applied to Binance. They applied to Bittrex. They're waiting to hear back. But Bitcoin private, I think, has a decent amount of potential. I don't think it's just going to be a shitcoin that everybody dumps right away. So I'm actually going to be holding my Bitcoin private until I see a couple more exchanges accept it. I see what happens with the price, where it levels out, how the community supports it or not. But I mean, I told you guys I took a little bit of a risk, and I sent over one Bitcoin to Bittrex, and I traded it to Zcash, so I got more Bitcoin private than just my one Bitcoin's worth. I got like over 100 for trading it to Zcash. But I had to buy into Zcash at around 80 to 85 bucks. Zcash, right after the fork, everybody sent right back to the exchanges and sold off. The price plummeted. It dropped to, a tenth of what it was trading at. But I got mine into the exchange. I was able to sell it at about half of what I paid for it. So I'm down about half of a Bitcoin right now from that trade. But like I said in my first video, I'm just hoping that I can make up the difference plus more with Bitcoin Private. I think Bitcoin Private is going to have more potential than Zcash. So it was worth it for me, even though I'm down right now. I'm going to see where that leads to when we see what Bitcoin Private starts trading at. But that's it. I don't want to make the video too long. I just want to show you guys how to export your private keys from Exodus or the Zcash Electrum wallet, and then import them into the Bitcoin Private Electrum wallet and receive your free Bitcoin Private. Now that mine are received and sitting in my wallet, we're good to go. So I hope everyone's having a good day out there, and I will catch you guys in the next video.